This is not one of those videos that explains the rules of punctuation. Those are boring. In my early life, I struggled as much with punctuation as I did with algebra. We were forced into these elaborate traps that seemed to do little more than make us miserable and keep us pointlessly occupied until recess. I couldn't grasp the rules, and the purpose eluded me entirely. For me, this is still true for algebra, but not so with punctuation. Somewhere along the line, I discovered that punctuation is the secret sauce of language that spices up all kinds of writing. This video assumes that you know the basics, because once you have the basics, you are ready to use punctuation with purpose, to use it to create meaning. This video is about the poetry of punctuation. When do we learn about periods? Very early on, but what we're not taught is how powerful they are. A period is definitive. It ends a sentence with a sense of closure and authority. When a writer uses short declarative sentences, like, "This is the truth," "This is final," each period punctuates a deliberate, emphatic point. In contrast, stringing together ideas with commas or conjunctions creates a softer, more reflective tone. The period insists that the idea is complete. It leaves no room for debate. You can use the simple, lowly period to create meaning. And you can also use commas. Commas invite pauses that let ideas breathe. They guide the reader gently, creating a rhythm that can feel deliberate or meandering. Consider the difference between these two. She was kind, thoughtful, and generous. She was kind, thoughtful, and generous. In the first, the Oxford comma adds a momentary pause before the final item, subtly emphasizing the completeness of the list. In narrative, the commas can slow the pacing of a sentence to build tension. He opened the door, peered inside, and froze. So simple and so beautiful. Okay, the next three form a bit of a set. The semicolon is a mark of balance and connection. It links two independent clauses that are closely related, offering a more nuanced relationship than a period. For example, she loved the city. He preferred the quiet of the countryside. This semicolon emphasizes contrast. The night was pitch black. The stars shone like diamonds. This semicolon shows a cause and effect relationship. He opened the ancient chest. Inside lay a treasure beyond imagination. This semicolon creates a dramatic pause. Now here's the important thing to remember about the semicolon. It gives equal weight to both thoughts. Unlike the finality of the period, the semicolon leaves the reader with a sense of continuation. The colon is like an arrow. It directs attention to what follows. It creates anticipation, whether for an explanation, a list, or a dramatic conclusion. Here's some examples. There's only one thing left to do. Run! Unlike the semicolon, the two sides of the colon are not equal. What comes after is more important. It's weightier. It's more significant. Another example. The problem was simple. He had run out of time. And one more. She knew exactly what she wanted. Revenge. Again, the colon amplifies the second part of the sentence. It makes it feel like a revelation. The colon's ability to heighten emphasis makes it a favorite for dramatic or persuasive writing. The dash is both bold and versatile. It's capable of interrupting, emphasizing, or pivoting a sentence. It often heightens the most important idea. She had one goal: freedom. What comes after the dash is even weightier and more significant than what comes after the colon. See the progression. The dash isolates the key word. It draws the reader's focus. A dash can also create conversational asides, mimicking thought interruptions. He was ready to leave, finally. But then the phone rang. Dashes interject energy into writing, making it feel immediate and dynamic. Isn't that cool? It's so cool, but don't overuse it. Ellipses trail off. They leave thoughts unfinished or ambiguous. They can evoke hesitation, reflection, or suspense. Some examples. I thought I could trust you, but I was going to tell him the truth. But something stopped me. Maybe this was the right decision. Or maybe not. The ellipsis suggests there's more left unsaid, inviting the reader to fill in the gaps. This makes it a powerful tool for conveying uncertainty or emotional weight. Here's a couple obvious ones. The exclamation mark conveys strong emotion, excitement, urgency, or alarm. Use it sparingly. They pack a punch. Watch out! That's incredible! Again, overuse can dilute their impact. A single exclamation mark in an otherwise calm narrative can be startling, drawing attention to the heightened moment. And the question mark. Questions provoke thought and invite engagement. A rhetorical question like, "Who could have seen this coming?" adds emotional resonance without expecting an answer. Placed strategically, a question can shift tone, challenge assumptions, and create suspense. Okay, back to some punctuation marks that are a little more interesting. I'm talking about parentheses. Have you ever considered that parentheses can create a sense of intimacy? They do this by adding side comments or asides. They de-emphasize the material inside, making it feel like a bit of a whisper or a wink. The play was brilliant, if a little long. By softening the importance of what's enclosed, parentheses can add layers of meaning without disturbing the main flow. Quotation marks can emphasize or call into question the validity of a term or phrase. She said it was urgent, but I'm not so sure. He's really living his best life while binge-watching reality TV in his pajamas. She said she was on a diet. Well, what about that cupcake? Quoting dialogue or ideas give weight to other voices, but air quotes can add sarcasm, irony, or skepticism, and those are so much fun. The apostrophe. Apostrophes contract words. Don't is an example, or show possession, the dog's bone. So they create clarity or intimacy. In informal writing, contractions make the tone conversational. Like when you say, "That's life." The apostrophe contributes to a sense of ease and approachability. So let's put some of these together for effect. But make sure you stay for the grand finale. This example shows how you can build suspense and surprise with punctuation. The forest was silent, eerily so. She walked cautiously, her steps muffled by the thick undergrowth. Then from behind her, a branch snapped. Here we have the dash that emphasizes the unsettling quiet. We have commas in the second sentence that slow the pace and build tension. And the ellipsis draws out the moment before the sudden action. And then the exclamation point delivers the surprise with force. My next example shows a shifting tone mid-sentence. He was calm, too calm, and that worried me. The dash introduces the shift. It emphasizes a change in perception. And then the second dash highlights the realization that something is off. And of course, the period ends with a sense of foreboding, reinforcing the unease. My last example expresses hesitation and doubt. I thought I'd made the right decision. Or at least, I hoped I had, but now, I'm not so sure. The dash interrupts the thought, showing second guessing. The ellipses stretches out the moment of doubt, and then the final phrase lands with uncertainty. Okay, I promised you the grand finale. While I was cooking dinner, a gourmet feast, mind you, my cat, who thinks he's a culinary critic, decided to jump onto the counter. After all, he needed to inspect the suspicious vegetables. You know, the ones I bought on sale. So I said, "No whiskers, not again." But he just looked at me like I was the crazy one. What's wrong with a little taste testing? Right, that was dumb. Thank you. See you next time.